Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I have no idea if my music just played or what, but this thing is freaking out. It is storming all day, so I don't. This thing sucks anyway. But I hope you're all having a great night. Sixers with the W. What a great win it was. I'm still fired up, but don't want to have a heart attack because, well, Howie just almost gave me one this weekend, and now we've got James Harden, Doc Rivers, Maxey, and the gang. Oh, yeah. What a day. What a day. It has been a long one, but I told you I would be back earlier today. We had talked a little bit, and we talked about the free agents because today, you can sign after 4 o'clock. You can now sign people, and it will not go against your compensatory pick formula. So shows you all of the remaining free agents, the top guys, 117 of them. So go check that out. Yesterday, we talked about the undrafted guys. We talked about DeAndre Swift's cap hit. Talked about the rookie cap hits, the Eagles updated cap space, all that stuff you need to know. So keeping you up to date with everything. And again, if you missed the undrafted free agents, go check that video out. But we're going tonight over the rookie minicamp tryout, guys. So all of these guys will be here next week to participate in the rookie minicamp, and they will have a chance to earn a roster spot. I think the Eagles still have 4 open roster spots, and there are 10 guys we're going to talk about. Yesterday, we talked about old Chim Okorafor. He was the one guy we had, and I told you as we added to that, I will get through that. So here we are with a list of 10 guys, but I do not, but no doubt. No doubt. Yeah, we can all do that. They had a terrible draft. They suck as always. One more month in for them. Yeah, no doubt. There's only one cut down this year, man. You only go every year. We always have those multiple cut downs, and they cut it down the last couple of years because of COVID. Now we have one, and we talk about how much that will mean with the offseason, all that great stuff. But we're going to have a rookie minicamp little tryout where what I think you're mentioning here is where these guys, you decide who makes this roster, but there's going to be 90 guys competing throughout this offseason, and I'm all about it. Sean, appreciate you tuning in. Yo, Twisted, every single one of you that took the time. And if you're watching this later, feel free to leave your comments down below. He sure did. It was beautiful. And I can't wait to get Embiid back because they were talking so much trash because of the fact that Embiid wasn't playing. But, well, you saw how that worked out for him. And you love to see it. You love to see it. Let's go Sixers. Yeah, I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. And, let's jump into this and talk about these rookie minicamp tryout guys. And I've got the full list here for you, and then we're going to break them down individually. And these are tryout guys. So from small schools, hard to find out a lot about some of these guys, but we'll talk about what we can. So you see, you've got an offensive lineman, a couple running backs, receiver, tight end, a long snapper in there, linebacker, corner, more of just a hybrid defensive back, but same goes for Xavier Bell and Jasir Cox, another, but kind of different hybrid. So we'll talk about these young men. And as always, if you guys are fans of these teams, you know something in depth about them, you just have a personal opinion about them, you watch them, whatever, feel free to let me know down below. Would love to hear your thoughts, but let's get things rolling and let's get it started with the long snapper here. And obviously, we're not going to have a met you in the stat category for him, but he has had a few tackles here, and he did have an important fumble recovery at one point, and he's been snapping for some award winners, so the kid is a good long snapper. That's pretty much all I can tell you. I played 36 games in his 5 years there at South Dakota, and he runs a 4.85. That's literally all I was able to really find. And look, it was tough, and you know how much I put into those draft guys. So I don't have that kind of, length of time of watching these guys. I have not watched pretty much any of these guys. I've got to find some on some of them, but that's about it. So again, if you have anything on them, feel free. But let's keep it moving. Long snapper in the building. But we talked about Chim Okorafor yesterday, and I told you I could not find a damn thing on him, but he's 6'6", 320 pounds, a versatile offensive lineman. Okay, Jeff Stoutland, work your magic. We know we've seen a guy from Australia that never played football be turned into an effing all-pro left tackle. Pro bowler at least for now, but let's go. So, look, bringing in competition, I'm all about it. It's a very young room, so there's competition to be had. We need iron to sharpen iron, and you've got Jeff Stoutland there, so excited for that. But On the offensive side of the ball, we still have some skill positions. So let's talk about those running backs here. And, I'm going to start it off with the little guy here. And I've seen him listed as 5'9", 5'8" as well. So he's definitely tiny. And if you watch tape, he's definitely a little guy here. But Toa Tua, 59 games there at Nevada. And he's obviously a 5-year senior, but 3,997 yards, 4.7 yards per attempt, 33 touchdowns there. And last year had 911 yards, 4.2 yards per attempt, and 11 touchdowns. He had 41 receptions last year, 295 yards and a touchdown. So he can catch the ball really well out of the backfield. I really like this kid. He runs tough. And I know somebody's going to say, like, oh, it's like a little Sproles. No, not putting him in that category anytime soon. But he's got a skill set that they like and they think they can use catching the ball out of the backfield. He looked like a very willing blocker from what I was able to see. Now, guy's not so fast, but he's got quick feet, and he's got patience. The cuts he makes, I really like his game. And the fact that he can block at his size, that just, tells you how tough the kid is. So, again, he's not the fastest dude or anything like that, but really liked what I saw out of this kid. And I think, if you give him a shot, look, these are rookie minicamp tryouts. I know people are like, oh, he sucks, but it's like, look, man, again, these are tryouts. So they're going to do their best to make the team, and I wish him the best, but pretty crowded running back room right now. And up next, this kid, he was an effing stud from what I was able to find and able to see on this kid. I watched some of his games, and he's 6 foot. He could definitely use to add on some weight there. If he gets into the NFL, tries running, dude, he's going to have a hard time. But this kid, I thought he looked, he's a big looking running back. So he's definitely going to have to bulk up. But he almost had 4,000 yards there, 6.9 yards per attempt, 49 rushing touchdowns, and 26 of those last year. He runs a 4.56, though. So he's not blazing speed. Caught a few balls there, but again, he had 1,649 yards last year and 26 touchdowns on 7.3 yards per attempt. That's pretty damn good. Now, you got to look at the level of competition you're talking about here. So, I mean, let's be real here. And he grew up in Pleasant Grove. That was a place actually near where I grew up, go figure. But I think for me, we're clearly pretty good on running back, but Alchita, whatever the hell Baptist school he went to, the competition there, But hey, look, again, you're looking for a diamond in the rough. He's trying to make the team. Go get it, young man. Now, let's stick to the skill positions. We'll go to a wide receiver. And in this young man, Garrett Mogg, from the very little I was able to see of him, look, he's 6'3", 6'4", 206 pounds. He goes up and gets the ball, man. He looks pretty athletic, but not very fast or anything like that. But again, rookie camp tryout. And, in his 4 years there at North Dakota, he did pretty well, I thought. I mean, from what I was able to find, he was a decent wide receiver. Now, 13.5 yards per catch, 14 touchdowns. There was no return stats, so he got a couple rushing stats in there, but clearly this is from the draft thing. Didn't want to make a million new graphics, the style at least. So stuck with it. So you're stuck with the stats that you got for those guys. But look, he's a big wide receiver. We talked yesterday about the undrafted free agent kids, Hazelwood and Nada. So look, you're bringing in competition. He's, got a long ways to go there, but look, he was decent, but nothing too special. I think those other guys definitely have the edge there. Now, we talked about tight end, and we added a Brady Russell, and these dudes are adding everybody they can with long hair, apparently. But now you've got Jordan Murray, and this dude I was not able to find a damn thing on. Like, I literally searched high and dry trying to find out about this kid, and all I was able to find for you were these stats here. But look, for me, obviously, this team, we need, I think, a blocking tight end. It's not like something where I'm going to, lose sleep over it if we do not get one. But I think that this is something, we've obviously talked about here and over again. And I thought that there were, there's still some free agent guys. Earlier today, we had talked about Max Williams, Foster Moreau. I know he just had a little health scare there, but glad to hear everything's good for him. But I think for me, if this kid can block, okay, but I could not find really much of anything there. So, see, decent, 12 yards per catch, 11 receiving touchdowns, but he went to Hawaii. So, again, the level of competition there. But, he seemed like an athletic kid, and literally I could not find much, but he's got some long arms. I saw very little, so I don't want to speak on him like I'm an expert because I do not know much about him. But I welcome any tight end competition, and that Brady Russell kid, him too. So go get it with Stoll and Calcaterra. Obviously, Goddard leading the way there, but Dalton Keene is there, Tyree Jackson. So we'll see how that goes. Now, there is a few defensive players here, a few defensive backs, and a linebacker. And yesterday we talked about, the Eagles. Linebacker, safety, all those things people bring up. So go check the free agency show, all that other stuff out. Liz, appreciate you tuning in. We're going over rookie mini camp tryouts right now, and doing my best to keep you guys up with everything, but I hope you're doing well. And yes, we're looking for a return guy, all those things, but team definitely Alchita. It was dude, so many these like past few months, and most of the guys from college and stuff, but then you start deep diving and you really start digging and start learning about people, and you're like, oh, now once I hear something, I'm going to learn it. But some of these dudes, I've never heard of them in my life, because let me be real with you, man. I'm not watching the Division II. I'm sorry. I'm not watching Chida. I don't know because no. So I did my best searching as I could within days. Look, and I was doing some on some of these guys, and I almost had this earlier. I was like, okay, could I get this done by 7? But then I was like, the Sixers game, and then I found more information on more guys who signed. So I'm like, well, I guess I got to create some more graphics and find out about more people. Yes. So I just enjoyed the game, tried to get as much stuff together as I could, but clearly the game took me by the cojones. So took a little bit of time afterwards to get this together, but we're here and we're going through it. And I appreciate all of you taking the time, and I hope you're having a great start to your week. Play mostly 4-3. No, I do not. We will play the same kind of 5-man fronts, those odd, packages, but you're going to see some, 4-2 nickel. You'll see, odd, even fronts that we talk about all the time. That's why there's versatility in this, defense. It's been that way for 2 years, and that's why you're seeing pretty much getting the same kind of players that will fit, because Sean Desai comes from that Vic Fangio tree. But we talk about how he'll implement, kind of a Nick Saban style defense as well, with that quarters defense, a lot of cover 2, 4, 6, 8, all the crazy shit we're going to break down this whole offseason. And we broke it down the last couple of years. But, this defense is insane, and you need versatile guys, and that's what we've talked about. So I'm very excited about it. We're going to see those multiple schemes again, but excited for those odd fronts. You guys saw that depth chart, and I'll show you again here shortly. But let's go, my man Anthony in the building. Appreciate you tuning in. Let's take a gander at these defensive players. And first up, we've got Xavier Bell. Now, this young man, he actually transferred from Arizona, so I did find some things on him, from before, because when I was looking up, I was like, all right, dude, like some of these guys, dude, it seriously made me want to punch myself in the face. Like Portland State, man, Portland State. That sounds like somewhere Damian Lillard would go and be like, I'm never graduating, staying loyal. Sorry, I don't know. But I'll be real with you. You see here, the stats don't mean much. Couldn't find a QBR allowed, tackles for loss, whatever. I mean, stats, you got to take them with a grain of salt. We all know that. But he didn't do damn thing in Arizona, really. This past season is when he had 11 games. He started all 11. He had an interception. He had 50 total tackles and a sack. So he's a versatile kid. That's one thing I did see about him. He was lined up all across. I mean, I saw him in nickel, outside. He was deep. He was in the box. So a versatile kid. What were we just talking about here? Versatility. 6'2", 200 pounds. So, hey, you give him a shot. And I couldn't find a damn picture from Portland State other than his ass showing in the picture, and then his head. It was ridiculous. So here you go. Arizona picture, Portland State colors. Let's go. And Eagles are going to be rocking some a little bit closer to Kelly Green. Can't wait. So excited about that. But Xavier Bell, best of luck to you. Now up next, Jasir Cox. And you remember Jabril Cox, who we've talked about here, obviously, that pre-draft from LSU and now Dallas Cowboy linebacker. This is his younger brother. Now, he does play some linebacker, plays some safety, so a hybrid in that sense, 6'1", 209. A little bit of a hitter from the little bit I was able to see of him. And this was really weird because every time I try to find something on him, it was giving me Jabril Cox. I'm like, all right, dude, I know that you want me to look up Jabril. And then when I'd finally be like, Jasir, like his brother, and then I'd be like, great story on Jabril's little brother. I'm like, I don't care. So I tried my best. I'll be real with you. But anyways, he was at North Dakota State for 4 years, 3 of those years when they won those national championships. But look, he was a stud there and thought he could go to West Virginia, rise his stock there a little bit, but went undrafted. Unfortunate for these young men, but hey, dust it off, keep fighting, and let's go, baby. Maybe you can make the team. But for me, he runs a 4.66, so he's not like the fastest or anything. He's not somebody you really want as a safety, but we talk about those hybrid players, dime linebackers. This is kind of the role that this kid fits. So you bring him in, you give him a rookie tryout at the minicamp, and look, if he sucks, you let him walk. If he doesn't, well, give him a shot this summer, and he's part of the 90-man roster, and then you've got extra time this year. You get one cut down to 90 to 53. And I think that's fantastic to have them all 3 of those preseason games. So these young men that actually, make it through this next process, they'll get an opportunity for the entire summer. So we shall see. Now, these next 2, I really think, maybe push to at least get a shot this summer. So Bentley Sanders, and he was fun to watch. And the return game, surprisingly, he didn't have a touchdown, but he actually looked fun. And look, again, a lot of these guys, I had very little time, and all I'm seeing is highlights. We know in these parts, got to watch out for the highlights because I want to see the lowlights too, but didn't have any of that. But this young man was at South Florida for 4 years before he transferred to Nevada. But this past year at Nevada, played in 12 games, had 82 tackles, 5 for a loss, 5 interceptions, which I like to see that, and a touchdown, 3 forced fumbles, and 4 passes deflected this past year. So that's great, man. And being able to return the ball, and he's a little guy, man. And this is another one where I've seen it 5'8" even too, but I don't care. If you can bring someone on, and we've talked about this, if he can just provide depth somewhere, but he can return the ball, let's go. Now, I like Britton Covey as a punt returner, but he can't kick return. So this kid can kick return. So can you provide some depth as a corner? But man, we talked about that cornerback battle. Woo! It's going to be a tough race for this young man, but maybe he gets an opportunity the rest of the summer. We'll see how he does. Now, up next, we are in need of a linebacker. And this dude, I'll be real with you, 4.7440. So he's not really fast. And if you're talking about one of those inside linebackers, you can use him there because he needs to play there, obviously. But I think his coverage ability is what gives him the strength here. And I thought he was decent at it. And for his speed, I was surprised by what his 40 was because he was somebody I enjoyed watching. He actually flew around. I thought he was kind of exciting. And look, I know I'm kind of, itching for a linebacker here. But I've told you, I feel good about Nakobe Dean, Nicholas Morrow, and I think Nolan Smith will play, a little bit of off-ball linebacker. So you see here, this kid, he's actually decent against the run too, not just in coverage. He's somebody that obviously needs a lot of work if he's undrafted, but you could use him as a blitzer, drop it into coverage, one of those inside linebackers in those odd fronts that we run. So all about getting in the competition at positions we need. So you see him, ladies and gentlemen, that was all 10 of the Eagles rookie minicamp tryout players. So did I say that right? Dear Lord, tongue twisting Terry here, but I appreciate all of you tuning in. And let me show you this depth chart here in a second. Jomo, he definitely could, I think I had a 5th round grade on him. I can't really remember. He was one of my day 3 favorites for that day. If you guys remember, that had to be a quick one because we made a trade, but he was on that list. He was like in the top 10, but I think for me, we've got a plethora of, interior D linemen, but he's somebody that brings that versatility that can play from the 3 to 5 technique. So that gives him a shot here. And I like his game. So he's going to compete, man. But hey, we'll see. Only time will tell. Glad I could get a few laughs out of you, ladies and gentlemen. But appreciate you, my dude. I know. Who else is a sicko like this that would talk about rookie minicamp tryout players? I know I am a sicko, but I've always needed to know every single thing about the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why I learned who to follow. I learned all these things, and I pretty much, show others. All you got to do is there's ways to be able to just know everything. And that's what I want to do and be able to give that back to you. Just know everything about the Eagles. For those of you who love everything about the Eagles, just like me. So love it. Glad that you love it, my man. Appreciate you. Prudent Camp, look, and here with great leaders, they're going to bring out the best in you. Jalen Hurts, you don't think that's going to pump you up here in a speech from him or something, dude? Now, clearly, he's not going to be a rookie minicamp trials, probably. Maybe he does. Maybe he's in the building, gets him a little fired up. That'd be sweet. But, dude, let's effing go. I'm all about every single thing Eagles, especially when I'm itching for it. I need it. But I really like big cornerbacks, these young quarterbacks. Well, I don't really know what he likes, and he really hasn't had an opportunity to show what he likes. So I think for me, they had some good corners. The 1 year he was in Chicago, he was like the assistant, whatever, in Seattle there for a year too. But I think here, obviously, has Slay and Bradbury. But the guys we brought in, we have some really young talent. We talked about them yesterday, so very excited. But Maddox will be the starting nickel corner for sure. He's one of the best in the league, and I'm ready for that. Kelly Green, for sure. Glad that get a little laugh out of you guys, but making the team in the you never know. Exactly. So as I just mentioned, the guy from Australia that made it, so here it is. And we all know 40s don't mean anything, man. That is clear as day. Anybody who tells you that 40s mean everything, they don't know what they're talking about in football. That's why I just said that, my man. But I appreciate you guys. I really think that you guys have to understand that I can't do this without you. So really appreciate everything you're doing. Now, I added the undrafted kids. I'm not adding the rookie minicamp kids into the depth chart, but you can see what kind of chance they had. You had some running backs competing, some offensive linemen that were competing. And I'll show you the defense here in a second. But the receivers that were competing in tight ends, you see kind of getting crowded there. So look, we've already got some competition here. Everyone in green is obviously either brought in from free agency, a trade, undrafted free agent, drafted. So anyone new to the team is the players in green, as you can see. And I've talked about Steen. What I heard from my source, how much Jeff Stoutland loves Tyler Steen, thinks he could be the starting right guard. I'm putting him in there for now. We'll see how the camp competition goes, but I know he's not going to start camp as right guard, that's for sure, but I'm putting him in there because I want to right now, okay? Just giving people the idea that this kid can get there, and I think he will. Now, everything else, very excited about this roster. On the defensive side of the ball, this is what I talk about. I got 12 starters on here because I want to show you, you can take the nose tackle off and have Avonte Maddox as your nickel corner, or you take the nickel corner off, you have that 5-man front, 5-2 nickel. You could do 5-1 nickel. You could have a 5-2 without the nickel. Everything we talked about last year. We're going to see a lot of those same, schemes, the setups that we talked about. And I'll show you and I'll explain all that throughout the off season. But this gives you an idea of where these guys are, how they're lining up, and, the D tackles I put on each side of Jordan Davis to give you an idea of those are your interior defensive linemen, man. You can have 3 of those beasts on the field at the same time. You're getting Milton Williams in there. Contavious Street maybe makes the team. Marlon Tuipulotu was killing it for the injury. Mora Ojomo here. So you've got competition outside of them. You got competition. Nolan Smith, not only can he play that Sam linebacker as an edge rusher, dropping to coverage, doing things like that, he could just play that weak side linebacker, dropping into coverage against the run, blitzing, doing so many things. As an off-ball linebacker, dude, edge rusher, I think the excitement is in my soul. So that makes me feel better about Morrow being the one next to Dean. And then in the secondary, we got the best trio in the game in Slay, Bradbury, Maddox. And then the depth, you've got Greedy Williams. You drafted Kaylee Ringo. You got McPherson here. Scott Ricks, who was brought in with Gardner, the undrafted free agent signees. And then Josh Jobe and Goodrich, who were undrafted free agent signees last year. Then the safety. And you've got those, probably Garner, Job, Goodrich, Scott, Maddox, all can dabble with safety. So versatile defensive backs. And you see the safeties, Blankenship, Edmonds, Sidney Brown, I think will be starting. Kayvon Wallace, Andre Sasha-Ray, Justin Evans, Tristan McCollum. So got a lot of competition. So those young men, they're going to be fighting for a spot to try to get onto this depth chart. And you see, one thing I'm excited about, and I did spell the punter's name wrong, need an N in between the E and the T. Sorry about that, Ty Zentner. But look, go ahead. I'll change your damn name if you go ahead and beat Aaron Sippos for that job. They call him Legatron, so maybe I'll just throw that in there. But I talked about a little bit of competition maybe at that kick returner. So we saw the little fella there, Bentley Sanders. Maybe he can push and try to make it as a kick returner. But I would like some help there, please. Anyway, that's all I've got for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But I'd love to hear your thoughts. And again, if you have any in-depth analysis or watched any of these players, want to give me your opinion on them, I would love to hear it. But I appreciate all of you taking the time tonight. Each and every one of you, seriously. And if you're new to the channel, thank you. You can always subscribe. Love to talk some birds with all of you. And I love seeing your comments when I'm not on and we continue talking. It's birds 24/7 for me. So I'm all about it. One of the biggest Philly sports fans. Truly believe I'm one of the biggest person. Yeah, what Jeff said is really true. You're a best kid. Yo, I appreciate you, my man. Look, I've been obsessed like this since I was a child. I was born into this, but I just told the story the other day. I've been in some dark times in my life, and even then, with a pen and paper, I sat there breaking down the draft because I'm obsessed with the Philadelphia Eagles. So if that's you guys, if you love the Eagles more than anything, and no matter what's going on in your life, you find peace even when they drive us insane or make us feel like we're going to have a heart attack, well, you're in the right spot. So I really appreciate that, my man. And look, keep tuning in. I'm always down to talk some birds. Going to do my best throughout this offseason to provide you guys with content. But, dude, told you we're going back to the Super Bowl and winning it. I showed you the cap, showed you the draft picks throughout these last months, got you ready for what was going to happen this weekend. Told you big things were coming. Jalen Carter added to this line. We're going to break that sack record. Going back to the Super Bowl, and we're winning it. We're going to make sure they don't, bring out Waterworld and, take away our pass rush in the Super Bowl, and we're going to win it this time. All about it. And I told you that if we're going to let him walk so we can draft him, right? Well, Jeff, I'm not saying you, but you guys know that we're tuning in. Yes, that's what I said. It's much cheaper. Let him walk. We're going to go get the next effing great D tackle. Let's go, baby. I've seen comparisons to Jerome. John Randall. Oh, that's pretty wild comparisons there. But if he can get there, I'll be pretty effing excited. I think we all would be pretty effing excited. Oh, my God. Sidney Brown jumping. Yeah, man. And you guys heard me throughout these last few months. My obsession with Sidney Brown. Said I was going to speak it into existence. We got him, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Let's go. Think Milton? Oh, hell yes, he is. And we talk about the great importance of depth and how much we use our depth pieces. Brandon Graham, someone was irate. You don't have him in the starting spot. I was like, well, that's because he played 47% of the snaps last year and was not a starter. So some of these guys will not be starters. And I know for those who play Madden, that's going to upset them. But we use rotations here, right? And Jeff, I know you know that. We're stacked, baby. And Kavai, I know you know that. So it's like, we're going to have Milton in there. We're going to have Jordan Davis. They all have different roles too. And when you have this multiple scheme defense, everybody has a part, but they can do different things. And when you got 2 gap, just 3 gap, Jordan Davis monster in there, dude, we're going to allow him to continue to develop. I know everybody, it's a wasted pick. It's like, well, dude, he got hurt. We brought in Sue and Joseph, had a great rotation. I mean, well, N'Kobe Dean didn't. It's like, well, Kaiser Wait and TJ Edward. Well, it's their time to shine now. And you got guys like Carter next to him. It's going to make him much, much better. You have Fletch back, Milton Williams. Before we drafted Carter, before we even re-signed Fletch, you guys know how excited I love Milton Williams. That's why I know there was a lot of people high on Kalijah Kancey, but we've got someone way better than that at same size, but like 10 pounds more. So all aboard. Let's go, baby. We're about to destroy that sack record, but I'm about to destroy some food and go relax and hang out with my beautiful woman. But hope you are all having yourselves a great night. Yeah, they're always troll sacks, and I cannot take them at all. I can't. That's why I don't watch that stuff anymore. And I'm very grateful. It did wonders to my soul. And having this show now, like, I don't have time, dude. I got to produce and make my own graphics. I got to make my own show. And I love it, dude. It's like I finally, and I told you, look what it's done for me to not ever listen to them, hear their opinions. Man, I told you how people were pissed. I got the draft pick right all 5 years that I've done this. But I told you, you guys that tune in, I was like, dude, don't let them see my cap breakdowns. Don't let them see my free agency predictions, because you think they're pissed about that, they will be irate. But I know you guys love it. So as long as you're getting the content you need, providing you with everything your heart could desire, that's what I'm here for. So I appreciate all of you. And no one likes us. We don't care. But I do care, because it annoys me. So like I always say, let them keep hating. I'll keep educating, because what they try to do is troll people, and people always take it and troll back. And it's a whole no. I bring facts, and people always, dude, if you guys follow me, you've seen some pretty funny stuff the last few days. People, I have no time to argue with people. I'm going to block you when you're a jerk. Like, dude, I come from a different time, man. I'm not into the shit. So, but dude, facts, that's what I come with. And those people stop talking very quickly. And I love every second of it. And I hope you all love every second of it. I like Kyron Johnson a lot. He's blazing speed. I think, great backup to Patrick and Hassan Reddick, but now you got Nolan Smith there. So get it going, man. But he's got like 4.5, maybe even like 4.45 speed. I remember last year, I really liked him a lot. So have yourselves a great night. Appreciate all of you tuning in. Jeff, Kavai, Travis, Liz, every single one of you. GP was in here, I know. Anybody I'm forgetting? Justin, I think maybe was in here in the beginning. Then again, I can't remember my name at the time. I know Twisted was in here. But anybody else who was in here, and I forgot you, Luffy, I think, was here for a second. Can't thank you enough. If you're watching this later, please feel free to comment down below. I will always be down to talk some birds. So when I see it, I will always get back to you. But have yourselves a great rest of your night. Stay safe out there. And as always, say it with me now. Go Birds!